I'll just do it on the hat. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another podcast, a live commentary of the 2003. This is the director's cut version, so this is the one where they added stuff, kind of like the Snyder, except this is mercifully shorter. Daredevil. This is the director's cut. Yeah, I'm going to do this version where there's some things that were edited out and they added more of action and blood. So let's do this. Hello, little Sims. You just made it. I just got to the opening credits. I wanted to, get this started because we have a long way to go. This movie's about 2 hours long, but it's shorter than X-Men 2. That's why I chose this one first, because it came out the same year as X-Men 2, but I think it came out first. Yeah, in the winter of 2003. Did I see this in theaters? No. I waited. I saw the theatrical cut on DVD, and then it took me years to get this version. I got it at Best Buy for like $3.99. I wanted to see the director's cut. It's a lot longer, and this is the version that should have been released in theaters because it's way more like the Netflix series, the R-rated cut. It's still not perfect. They still have that stupid scene in the at the playground, and some of the CG is dated, but it's still a much better cut of the movie. And thankfully, there was no bad sequel to this. You had a spin-off with Jennifer Garner as Elektra. In your American Assassin-like content, how come you said I need to grow up and stop talking about the same thing? Well, you're a kid, little Sims. You're not a man yet. When you're 18, you'll be a young man, and then by 21, you'll be an adult. But I don't want to talk about Henry Danger. This is about Daredevil, not Henry Danger or Shake It Up. I saw your live commentaries on YouTube. I saw the thumbnails. I'll see them eventually. Fall's coming next week, so here it is. Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace, man. He's one of the few actors in this movie that's no longer with us. Colin Farrell, yeah. He's way better in the Batman than here. Because in my last podcast of Full House, nobody was there. This is just the opening credits. It's the same opening credits from the theatrical cut. Daredevil. Yeah, not on Disney Plus for a reason, but he's going to be in the next episode of She-Hulk for whatever reason. This late into the series, 5 episodes in, and they were finally going to bring him in. I'm like, yeah, too little too late, guys, in my opinion. One of the changes that they made is there's more scenes with Matt Murdock, CGI rat, yeah. Is this better than Spawn? Yes, because Spawn was just horrible. Like, I couldn't get into Spawn 1997. It was just horrendous effects, bad tone. The Joe Pantoliano, yeah, it's his birthday today. He's 71 now. Jon Favreau, yeah, this is what he did before the MCU. David Keith, yeah, the insignias remind me a lot of The Crow. Eric Avari, yeah, I know that guy. Derek O'Connor, Scott Terra Leland Orser. Excuse me. Also, I don't know why they put Elektra in this movie just so she can die at the end. Yeah, spoiler alert. They do. She trains to a rendition of "Wake Me Up Inside," which is a great song by Evanescence, but it's wasted on a character that gets easily killed by Bullseye. Not even the Kingpin, but Bullseye. It made no sense. You killed her off, and I'm like, you could have let her be, you could have let her live. I know that subverts people's expectations in a comic book movie for the guy not to end up with the girl at the end, but it didn't work. Because that would have been like killing off Mary Jane in this first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And I don't need to see another church scene in a Marvel or DC movie. I just don't. We get it. Daredevil is a religious character, and so is Nightcrawler. I don't care. Oh, look, Kevin Feige produced this. I don't care, because I personally don't need it in my comic book movies. That's why it took a while to do this movie. Because last time I went to a Catholic church, I had to donate blood. That's the only reason I was there, guys. And Ben Affleck, he did the best he could. I think the mask looks too small on him. That's the only thing. It's very tight and looks kind of small. Yeah. Mark Steven Johnson, the only wrote this by himself. See, you didn't have 5 writers on this. Yeah. Avi Arad, yeah, because he works for Marvel as well. Yeah. He has to take his mask off. No, in churches now people have to wear masks because of COVID. He can't see. Madu. Yeah. This is when he's a kid, and he gets the liquid. The liquid still gets sprayed on his eyes in this version. New York. I don't know why they cast a Brit to play Matt Murdock now, but hey, you can have Charlie Cox. I think he's fine, but he's not amazing like some people say. He's not. He's not a Tom Holland. Can we please stop Can we please stop putting bullies in Marvel and DC movies? We don't need it. Morbius, I'm like, yeah, please stop. It's not working anymore. If you have bullies in a movie, I don't need to see them in the movie. It's not needed. This is an added scene, I believe. Yeah, Heineken. Yeah, my mom was not a fan of this movie when she saw the theatrical cut. She's like, "Oh my god, a man and a woman want to have sex? Yeah, that's why we're here to procreate, so our next generation can continue ours to spread our seed. That's why we're here." Now, this version they cut the sex scene out, which is fine because it's not needed in this version. Besides, she's gonna die at the end, so they don't have a baby. At least in Watchmen, it's in all the cuts of the movie, the theatrical cut and the director's cut, because Silk Spectre too is pregnant at the end of the movie with Night Owl's baby. I know this actor. He was in Thoughts on Evangeline Lilly. I liked her until I found out she's affiliated, and I'm like, and doesn't want to get the vaccination. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Seriously, and I don't like the way she looks now. She was at Comic-Con in San Diego. I don't like the way she looks now. She's not as desirable as I thought. And I'm like, I don't hate her now, just I need time. After Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I need time. I'm glad she didn't do anything since Endgame because I didn't need to see her in any Disney remake or anything. No. This guy was the cowboy in the Indian in the cupboard. I remember him. It's a well shot movie. Mark Steven Johnson did a good job shooting the film. A lot of people don't give credit to the way the film looks. It does look like Blade and The Crow, except it's not as depressing as that. Because Blade was awesome. I loved Blade, but The Crow is really depressing because what happened to Brandon Routh. I mean Brandon Lee. Brandon Routh. Brandon Lee when he passed away after the movie came out. So. Because I clapped in Spider-Man: No Way Home when I saw Matt Murdock because out of respect for the character, because it's a cameo, guys. It wasn't like he was going to fight, you know, the Sandman or Doc Ock or any of those villains at the end. He was just there to say, "Yeah, I'm in the MCU now." Where's Ghost Rider? We haven't seen him in the MCU yet. Where's There's a lot of characters that are missing. Yeah, these scenes were added with him and his son. There's more scenes of that. Didn't get a season 4 because Zendaya went on to do, her own show, which was much better because no Bella Thorne only did one episode and then never came back. I just don't like Bella Thorne. She's a slut. She's a slut. She's not a good person. She's slutty. There's the accident that gets him blinded, by the way. Who the hell leaves biohazard materials near a construction site? Seriously. Biohazard? That's stuff that you should put in a laboratory or something, not where a kid could run and get it. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of dumb, but it's in both cuts. So what his origin story? At least the origin's quick. So a poor kid. They get the origin out of the way quick. Unlike in some movies where it takes almost an hour for the origin to happen, like the Amazing Spider-Man or the Ang Lee's Hulk or freaking what was the other one? Even Eternals. What's their origin? There is no origin. They just appeared out of nowhere. You can't see. Yeah, the insignias I could do without in this movie. We get it already. That's why I don't see this movie as much as the other ones, the other Marvel movies at that time. The next one I'm doing is X-Men 2, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'll probably do it next week because it's very long. It's over 2 hours. It's like, yes, like VR vision. I don't know what I would do without my eyesight because I would feel like just kill me now because I need to see everything. It's why I don't use VR glasses because I don't want to go blind, guys. You're putting glasses over your eyes and you can't see anything. Sucks. It's like the blind guy from Rogue One. And this kid can act for his short screen time in this movie. Yeah, it's like if Bruce Wayne was blind. No, Marvel does have that heart. No matter what happens to a character, most of the time I usually feel. And hey, one good thing that came out of this movie, both cuts, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck did have some beautiful babies together. So that's something that history cannot erase, guys. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, their blood flows through their kids' veins. So that's something they can't ignore. You can't erase that with a remarriage. It doesn't work that way. That's not how time works. He's with J Lo now. I don't know why. Yeah, and that sucks. Cyclops didn't lose his sight. Did you see my message? Which one? I already read all your messages, little Sim. I already said why there wasn't a season 4. Because Zendaya wanted to do something else. With Black Adam, I don't need to see any tragedy. Just let him get the powers of Shazam, and I want to see where it goes from there. Plus, he's a villain. That's amazing. That this scene is cool. Now, the scene in the playground is stupid. I admit that. It's dumb. 4 episodes of She-Hulk, and there hasn't been a single Murdoch appearance. There's Stan Lee. Yeah, rest in peace, man. I miss you a lot. It's a non-talking cameo, but it's still there. Dare you? Don't dare him. Yep. That's not that stick hurts, trust me. If somebody blind hits you with a stick like that, it's gonna hurt. It doesn't tickle. It's like a magic wand. Wow, that was a cool Matrix kind of flip. Yeah, the Matrix was popular at that time, guys. The sequels came out in 2003. So yeah, bullies have to get their asses kicked in order to learn a lesson. Jack the Devil Murdoch versus John Romita. And hell, Elektra doesn't show up in the movie until later in the film when he's an adult. Yeah, and I just went on Jersey Devil this year at Six Flags. It was fine. Not a great ride, but it had its moments. Red, because that's Daredevil's signature color. I don't know where Josh is. He's probably going to show up. We're about 20 minutes in. Still got a long way to go. Thankfully, the movie's shorter than the Snyder Cut and Watchmen. Victoria, shake it up. No, not going to happen again because they're two different companies. They will never get together. Ever. This version is definitely more violent. There's an F-bomb in the movie. Oh, look, that's Kane Hodder in a cameo. You know, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 7, all the way to Jason X. Yeah, boxing's real. That's why one wants some punching me in the face. I do have to finish the Netflix series, but I'm not going to see it first. I want to see um, probably The Punisher first because it's one of the shortest ones. Mm-hmm. We'll push it over here, lie down a little bit. Yeah, because this is a long movie. I don't want my legs to fall asleep. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. I got up early today, but I'll be fine. Yeah, they beat up his dad. That makeup looks really good on the kid's face. He's wearing contacts, blind contacts, kind of like what Jamie Foxx did in Ray. And also casting the Kingpin, making him black. This was not the diversity hires they do now. Back in 2003, it was kind of different, to make a character in the comics that was white and make him a black guy. It didn't bother me because they bought Vincent D'Onofrio to do a new Kingpin, so in the MCU, so it's fine. That poor kid, yeah, had to kill his father. Yeah, it's like Bruce Wayne or even Spider Man with his Uncle Ben. What is it with these Marvel characters that they have to always lose a parent or a guardian? With No Way Home, I get it. Peter had to have a tragedy so he can move on with his life. Because his Uncle Ben, they never mentioned him, and Aunt May had to die. What do you think of my comment? Which comments? I said I don't want to see that. You're not going to see Disney and Marvel and Nickelodeon ever collaborate because they hate each other. That's why. I'm vengeance. It's a well shot night scene. And we're in the church again. Yeah, because that's where the final battle takes place with him and Bullseye. Even though Bullseye looks nothing like he did in the comic, here he looks like a Matrix villain because he looks like I said, he looks like Joe Pantoliano in the first Matrix, except with a target on his head. I'm like, it's not the same. I want Bullseye from the comics where he has the costume. This was Fox when they were like, doing the best they could. The Daredevil costume looks fine, but with Bullseye, I wanted the costume. Embrace the comics, guys. Music, yeah. Why do they hate each other? Because Nick and Disney are different companies, and they don't want to collaborate. Why you think you don't see SpongeBob on Disney Plus or Disney Channel? Because they don't like each other. Companies have to sell their own products. There's Favreau. Ooh, those pictures are hard to watch. Yeah, you can hear him. His heart's beating. Yeah, at least these procedurals are short. In She-Hulk, it felt like it was 10 or 15 minutes of the running time, and it didn't need to be that. That's not That's not why I watch Marvel movies or shows for the procedurals or when people get arrested. We know that happens a lot. But when we see a character get arrested in a Marvel movie, do we have to see them getting their thumbprint and all that? No. Or mugshot? No. Less is more. Will Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network collaborate? Probably not. There's a suit. They're doing the same thing with the new with the and She-Hulk, but it's not going to be R-rated because it's PG-13 and they can barely show blood on She-Hulk. They haven't shown a lot of blood since the first episode. That stick is cool that he has. That's cool. Because Daredevil that movie was a product of its time, so I can't say that this needed to be accurate from the comics. I'm like, they did the best they could back in the 2000s, guys. They didn't have, they thought R-rated movies wouldn't sell, and yet Deadpool made a crap ton of money. Yeah, they have to make him PG. They can't make him PG-13 because then they'll take the teeth out of Deadpool. Bikers. Yeah, there's like a breast shot, but from a distance. I'm not going to show that obviously because I don't want to get a guideline strike or a copyright infringement. There's a lot of copyrighted music in this movie, so wearing headphones is the only way I can do it, guys. I thought that was Toby Kebbell. It's not him. It looks like him though. This scene was added, yeah, because I don't remember the scene in the theatrical cut. It's more violent. Yep, because he was Batman. These flips are really cool. To me, this movie's really underrated because I don't think it's horrible. It could have been a lot worse, guys. This could have been Batman and Robin or Spawn or freaking like the X Men First Class or that other X Men movie, X Men The Last Stand, which was a disappointment. There are worse comic book movies. Even Morbius is worse than this because that needed an R rating. This got an R rating at least later. That's awesome. That 360 shot was cool. This action is pretty well done. At least they're not shaking the camera and having a seizure. That's awesome. So you can see the bullets coming. It's like complaining that the mask is a dated movie because it's from the 90s. I'm like, they did the best they could with it, especially since the source material is way darker than the 1994 movie. That's great. Why do these companies can't get along? Because again, they're trying to sell their product, not trying to collaborate. If they do collaborate, it's weird. It has to be in the same realm, like Batman and the Ninja Turtles. That actually was a comic, so that made sense. But having like Marvel and DC be together, no. Unless one of them buys each other out, yeah, it's not going to happen. He walks through flames. Why do these villains think that they can run away from the heroes? That usually doesn't go well, especially characters like the Flash who can run fast. Yeah. Full House and Henry Danger, no. Because even though Full House was on Nickelodeon, like before, now it's on HBO Max. It's not going to work. Plus, Full House is over. The only way you could do that is to do a fan film or a fan series. Boom. Did I mention that this movie is better than Morbius? Because it certainly is. That movie bored me, and they wasted so much potential in that film. An R-rated cut with a better written script by that not by the guys that did Power Rangers and Gods of Egypt would have been much better. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. There he goes. The train. The train's coming. Avengers and John. I don't know what that means. There's Joe Pantoliano. 50th Street. I've been there. Not the C train. I don't think I've been on the C train before. Yeah, this is when you could smoke in a Marvel movie. Now you can't, unless it's got an R rating. That's the cool of flames, the two Ds. That is a cool image. Just like I said in The Crow, where he his symbol of the bird is engulfed in flames. I'm doing another commentary. Good. Hopefully, I won't have any technical problems like I had last time with the commentary. Not for Full House, the other one that I did. It was raining. That's why the weather was horrible. What was it? It was a Broken Arrow. Yeah, Broken Arrow. Because my Independence Day one went smoothly, but not Broken Arrow. Next month is Halloween month, so do you have any requests? Uh, requests? What do you mean, like to do review or to do a live stream for? Because I don't know which one. Because I'm doing a bunch of podcasts for the month of October to make up for last year. Because last year I didn't have a laptop. My laptop broke right before Halloween, a few weeks before, and I couldn't do any live streams. I did live reviews, but that's all I could do on a phone. There's the masks. Yep, he's banged up. Oh, look at all the scratches on his back. It's like Bruce Wayne, like I said. Doing a live commentary for that kind of request. Oh. One of the Child's Play movies that's not the remake. I don't know, something like that. The real ones, not like a fan made movie. Because yeah, what is that? Cocaine? No, it's not cocaine. It's I think it's Epsom salt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was originally on Nickelodeon, but then it went to Disney Channel. But that's a transition. That's different. Doug did the same thing. It was on Nickelodeon and Disney, but it wasn't like it was a separate franchise going somewhere else. You're never gonna see SpongeBob on Disney. He's a Nickelodeon character. Rights issues. Dramatic fade out. We're almost 40 minutes in. Another insignia. It takes a while. It takes a while for Elektra to come into the movie, and also Kingpin and Bullseye. It's a good soundtrack too. Most of the soundtrack in this movie is really good. And this was after 9/11, so the Freedom Tower wasn't around yet in 2003. Hmm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need that. In what? Honey? You put mustard in his drink. That's yeah, vacuumless. I think Ben Affleck's acting's fine in this movie. I know people they gave him a Razzie for this because they were hating on him all because he was with J Lo. Who cares? He's still a good actor. He's a better actor than freaking Charlie Cox. What else has he done? Let's see. He did Daredevil, the show, which lasted 2 seasons. He did a cameo in Spider Man, and he did Stardust. Wow, I cream my pants. Affleck's won an Oscar twice for writing and for directing. For acting, not yet, but he'll get there one day. Who knows? 40 minutes in, there's Elektra finally really introduced into the movie. The gorgeous Jennifer Garner. Look at that face. So big, juicy lips. Beautiful woman. God, she's so hot. Look at those eyes. That's going to be my wife one day. Yeah. Absolutely stunning. Last thing I saw her in was Yesterday on Netflix. Hey, you know when a woman walks into a room, you don't have to see them. You can smell them, you hear them, feel them, taste them. What's your opinion on the Nickelodeon Christmas movie, Tiny Christmas? It's cute. I really like Lizzie Green in this movie. Yeah, she's adorable. I would love to date her. Oh, Jennifer Garner. I didn't see her Elektra movie. Yeah. They have chemistry on screen. I will say this. They do. That stupid playground scene, yes, kind of like the basketball scene in Catwoman, but this movie's not as bad as that movie. Electra Narcos or Narachos. It's some like Greek name or something. I do. It's just I don't need handicaps in everything. I don't need a deaf person in the MCU. I don't need a person that has no hands or a person in a wheelchair. We get it already. We get it. With X-Men, we got plenty of that. Of disabled people. We got that. Well, this is the playground scene. Yeah, the scene is dumb, guys. It was dumb in the theatrical cut. It's dumb here. Because it should have just been them talking. Them dancing on the seesaw, that's stupid. That's that's like that's campy. Would I kiss that woman? Yeah, I would. And she's almost 50, right? Let me see. That's a lie, Jennifer Garner. You had babies with this man. Babies. You did more than to. Can you see the chat? Yeah, I can see the chat, little Sims. I'm not. Yeah, this is stupid. I mean, yeah, it's dumb. Have I seen Alias? No, I'm going to watch it on Disney Plus. Yeah, she just turned 50 this year. Just turned 50, so I'm right. She's 50 years old now. She turned 50 in April. This scene is stupid. This could have been cut because it feels ridiculous. She can fight him here, yet she gets her ass kicked by a man that's younger than her, Colin Farrell. This is a dumb scene. It was dumb in the theatrical cut. It was dumb here. It could have been cut entirely. I'm like, Nickelodeon. I said Tiny Christmas. I said it already to Little Sims. Let me write it down because I guess you have a problem hearing me. Just read this. You can read this. Because apparently I don't use the chat a lot. So besides, I don't have to look at this stupid scene. The scene is stupid. It's dumb. It was dumb when I first saw it too. This is just a filler scene, so they could get all the soul tension out. Nachos. Okay. Yeah, you didn't have to do a stupid scene where we're playing with each other. I'm like, oh God, just bang already. Well, they don't. In the theatrical cut, they do. Here, they don't. Bodyguard. Where was he when you get killed with your own sai? It's funny how these actors find each other doing comic book movies because in Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds met Blake Lively there, and now they're together, and they still are. Do I like her better than the actress that played Elektra in the TV show? Yeah, because I'm not a fan of that actress, Elodie Young. She just talks weird. I don't know what it is about her. I mean, you got an actress that isn't even like Greek. You got an Asian, yeah, a French Asian woman, yeah, not so much. Yeah, thank God that scene's over. That's the stupidest scene in the movie, and that's saying a lot. But it's a scene that didn't need to be in the film to begin with. They could have talked at the playground and say, "Hey, what's up?" What was it in the early 2000s? People wanted to do playground scenes. Unless you're going to do a badass scene, don't put it in the movie. There's Kingpin. 45 minutes into the movie. How come you don't want to talk about Debbie Ryan? I don't like her. I'm not a fan of that actress. Where's her in Marvel movie or show? Nothing, because she's been on Netflix and some terrible content there. Ugh. Man, man, he looks like he's constipated. Yeah, he did. He pulled a Darth Vader. He broke a guy's neck. Of course, they had to reduce the violence. Even in the R-rated cut, he doesn't like stab a guy in the neck and they bleed. No, because there's some scenes that are added violence here. He's no, just kills him with his hands. Yeah, Eric Avari. I saw him at GalaxyCon last year. It was either last year or earlier this year. I don't remember. He's a good actor. He's yeah. Here we go. Fast forward into the movie. Yeah, it's not nachos. It's not Cheetos. Well, he does. He does. He does marry her a few years later after this. Friendly neighborhood. Wink. Who will win the Ninja Turtles or Eternals? I don't know because I don't want to know about that. Coolio in a cameo again. We're almost an hour into the movie, so is that Luther Reigns? Yeah, that's Luther Reigns from wrestling. He did a cameo here. He was in this and in the Girl Next Door. Here's Bullseye. Yay! He literally has a song called "Because I'm Irish." I'm like, we get it already. Colin Farrell's Irish. How come you don't know about who will win? Because I don't want to know. I don't want to see the Turtles fighting those freaking bootleg Power Ranger Justice League knockoff. Farrell's way better in the Batman because he doesn't have to use his accent, and also he's not. He nailed it. Here he looks like a Matrix reject, or a reject from the Underworld films, which came out around this time, the first one. It's like I'm gonna cut your head off, and I'm like, oh my god, ooh, that's racist. Yeah, you know, Karen Gillan looks better bald than you do, Colin Farrell. Just you look weird. Yeah, top of the morning. I don't know what that means because I'm not Irish. I love St. Patrick's Day. I love wearing green because I'm an Irish sympathizer. But this song is stupid too. Yeah, he kills him with a paperclip. I'm like, not a knife or a dagger or something. No, I gotta go. See you, Little Sims. Who introduces a villain almost an hour into the movie? Even Loki, they introduce him a lot sooner in Thor. That was funny. Yes, even Ben Affleck knew how stupid that line was. He's like, "I'm from the Matrix," and I'm like, "Yeah, that accent is ridiculous, Josh. When you see this, it's ridiculous. They sound like leprechauns." I seen Finn Balor wrestle, good wrestler, but man, when he talks, it's just laughable. Karen doesn't sound laughable. Her accent's slight and it's sexy for some reason. I don't know why. I guess because she's a female and she's close to my age. Maybe that helps. She doesn't sound like this. Because if she was Irish and sounded like Colin Farrell, I would be like, okay, the woman from The Boys is Irish. The one that looks like Wonder Woman, yeah. But if she sounds like this, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Because I'm sorry, I've heard the accent in real life. It's laughable. It is laughable. I'm telling. It's like, yeah, lazy morning together and all that. I'm like, oh my god. I've seen the Leprechaun movies. Well, the first four, and this, it's just it's painful sometimes. What is he with paper clips? Paper clips are not scary, Colin Farrell. I use them for paper. Puppy! You might as well have him wear green and dance like a leprechaun. Irish does sound like a leprechaun, but it doesn't hurt. Karen's accent is very slight, sexy, and I think it helps you because she's a woman. Yeah, and she doesn't have a ridiculous thing on her head like this. She has like blue and metal here, and then those contacts. Yeah, at least she can walk better than Colin Farrell. And Ben Affleck has to do most of this movie with glasses on. So it's hard to act with sunglasses on. Ask James Marsden in the X-Men movies. It's not easy to act with glasses on. Blade does it, but he wears sunglasses, for the sun. Yeah. Karen wasn't even in movies in 2003 because she was a teenager at that time. Because I was 18, so in 2003 she was what, like 15? Yeah, she was a minor at that time. She didn't get Doctor Who until the late 2000s, early 2010s. At least Ben Affleck's not a cartoon here. Matt Smith was too much. Like in Morbius, he is a cartoon. He's like going woo like Ric Flair, and he's overacting. It was too much. It was way too much. At least Farrell's not in this movie that much. Ben and James made acting with sunglasses work. So did Jamie Foxx and Ray. Yeah, because again, he won an Oscar for that. Type Sheridan, just it was a little bit inconsistent with his eyesight in X-Men Apocalypse. I just thought he looked too young. I don't know why they had to get much younger actors for First Class and Apocalypse and X-Men Dark Phoenix. I'm like, we wanted them to be around for a while, but they just looked too young. Sheridan looked like he was 21 when he did Apocalypse. I mean, why is Bullseye doesn't use paper clips in the comics? Doesn't he use knives and guns? Yeah, he's called Bullseye, not Deadshot. You saw those computer keyboard? I remember those back in the 2000s. Mom 6'8". It was an old lady talking to Bullseye. I was like, "Oh, please shut up! I'm begging you." I know that's a dumb accent, guys. You know what I'm doing, but hey, it's not St. Patrick's Day. That's not till next year. He's like, "Please shut up! Please shut your mouth." Yeah, I think Colin Farrell was on cocaine or something because he's like very jittery here. He's like, you know, he's I don't know what it is. He looks like yeah, he's like on some shit. Yeah, I think Colin Farrell was on some kind of substance, Josh. There's no way he was sober doing this movie because he's like bugged out. More peanuts. I thought he said more penis. I'm like, please, no, 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 no. If you cast Bullseye in the MCU version of of that character, please get somebody that's not Irish. He's not Irish in the comics, is he? No, he's not. Just like Matt Murdock in the comics isn't British. I don't know. It just feels out of place. Who's gonna play him next? Finn Balor, because he's Irish too. At least it developed Matt Murdock's character more. It is blind. It is, especially after what happened the past 2.5 years. These people that created COVID didn't get the death sentence. Yeah, they didn't get freaking yeah. They didn't get the freaking the injection. Yeah, they'll get their justice will be served when this pandemic is over. Plus, in this movie, they don't play these scenes for laughs at all. Not as much. Well, with Ben Affleck trying to get hit into a seat, but it's not like Liar Liar where that was meant for comedy. Like him doing the turkey, woo, that's laughable. I'm like, I was laughing my ass off with that. With She Hulk, I haven't laughed since the first episode. I wish it was funnier. Just it's not. I laughed more with Karen saying, "You're gonna leave me with that fox." That was funny. See, because we didn't accept that. An hour into the movie. We're an hour in. We got another hour to go. About an hour, yeah. And you know, Josh, Jennifer Garner has that same similar voice to Karen. They have a very soft female voice. Mm. That's for him to know and you to find out. A beautiful woman, just so feminine. I haven't seen Alias, but I could watch it on Disney Plus. They have the whole series there. Yeah, it's a nice shot. Mark Steven Johnson knows how to hold a camera. Even Ghost Rider, I think it's a good looking film. That's not the problem. That movie has way more problems than this film because it needed an R rating. Yep, I'm going to touch your face. Your beautiful, soft skin face. Yeah. Women love that, to be stroked on the face like this, very gently. Not, oh, I'm going to squish your face. No, it's non-toxic, Josh. You should have pet her hair because I love doing that. Ben and James. Wait, no. That's the same thing. Yeah. These two couldn't keep their hands off each other. When did they get married? It was a few years after this. 2005, they got married. At the time she was married to Scott Foley. Yes. 1, 2, 3 children. Wow. You go, girl. Yeah, she has 3 kids with Ben Affleck. Their last names are Affleck. That cannot be erased. Just like with, I don't know why these celebrities just can't stay together. Here comes the rain, and then he sees her in the rain. It's like, you're beautiful. I know. Mark Steven Johnson, I know. Like the raining scene in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Yeah, she does look amazing in that CG. She looks like the Invisible Woman. I know. I know. I know, Affleck, you're not blind. Look at that face. She has a beautiful face, even to this day. If I could have done that to her at a Comic-Con or something, like, hey, you're perfect, don't touch her face. I'm like, well, she's not married anymore, so. Yeah, they were by this time, they probably were engaged like a year after this movie, and then they got married in 2005. You should have stood together. Why would I want to leave a beautiful woman? She's the only thing that in my life that would give me significance after my own health, you know? Girls love being embraced. Yeah, and they loved getting stroked in the face like this or petted gently. I just love seeing them together, guys. I know, like, oh, really? You like seeing them together? Yeah, because it led to something in real life. So that's a good, it ends on a high note for them at that time. Jennifer Garner's done way worse than this. She did 9 Lives, and that's horrendous. That movie is. Yep, time to take him down. That shadow was cool. Nothing wrong with seeing people in love together. Some are just mean. 9 Lives last year was horrible. Of course, it's horrible, Josh. It's got bad CGI. Kevin Spacey's not good in it. Garner doesn't know what to do in that movie. and it's not funny. So why should I watch it? That's awesome. It breaks through the window like Batman. Yeah, a foreshadowing. There were a lot of movies that Ben Affleck did before he was cast as Batman, and he was. Yes, it is. That's gross. hmm I'm walking. I'm standing on top of the movie. I'm standing on top of a building, brooding again, like Batman. Dramatic fade out again. Yeah, there's the candles again. I only like candles on my birthday or like kind of some kind of celebration, or if I put scented candles. There's that priest again from the beginning of the movie. Yeah, me too. It's been very quiet this year, for me, and so well, except last Saturday, that was a nightmare. That is a cool looking radar, like through Daredevil's eyes. Nothing you haven't heard, yeah. The movie's almost over. We're about halfway through, so thankfully the movie's not 4 hours. Because if I had to do the Snyder cut, I would have to do it in two parts. There's no way in hell I'm going to do it for almost 4 hours. No, I can't. It's too freaking long. The Snyder cut is way too long to do in one sitting. I did it last year, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is way too long." This is only about half that running time. Basically, the theatrical cut of the Justice League. Hello, blonde cutie. You're cute. You're so cute. And Favreau's fun in the movie. I will always defend that man for making two of my favorite characters come to life: Iron Man and Mando. Thanks to him, we have Mando, and we're getting a third season. Yeah, Gina Carano's nowhere to be found. So what, guys? She's not retired. She'll be back one day. She'll do another franchise again. It wasn't her fault that she spoke her mind, and then Kathleen Kennedy fired her, like she does to everybody. She also fired Deborah Chow, so who cares about her? Once Kathleen Kennedy is gone, we'll get Star Wars back on track. No more feminized versions. I bet Favreau's going to be the guy to give us Mara Jade. Yeah, once Kathleen Kennedy is fired, that's what he should do, just to stick it to her. Like, ha, you bitch, we got the real female badass that we wanted 7 years ago. She's a better character than Rey. She's more established, more beautiful, and they don't treat her like she has superpowers coming out of her ass. She has the Force because she's part of the bloodline. She's not some nobody. Just saying, guys. Brick. No, Brick. Swish. See, those scenes are short, but the playground scene and the scene, that could have been cut. Mara is beautiful. I saw your photos of her and clips of her in the game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least I know how long the movie is now without the end credits. There's no post-credit scene here, guys. This is 2003. They didn't do that yet with Marvel movies until X-Men the Last Stand. That was the first Marvel movie I saw in the theater from Fox that had a post-credit scene. Not setting up the next 10 movies, but to say that, yeah, Xavier's alive. Yeah. It's like Beat Red. Yeah, Pantoliano's a good actor, man. He's a treasure. There's a guy with a dashiki there. Maybe it was a Wakandan. We don't know. This is the villain and the hero meet each other about an hour into the movie, an hour and 12 minutes. Favreau, you're hilarious, man. I'm deaf. No, that's Echo. That's not. That's not. Yeah, I miss Michael Clark Duncan a lot. Yeah, I miss him a lot. He's so good, such a good actor. He could have been in the MCU. Everybody's got flaws, man. He's right about that. Yeah. We still got Kevin Hart screaming like a bitch, but yet Michael Clark Duncan died a couple years ago. Oh my God. That dress is gorgeous, Josh. Yeah. I'm like, Mark Steven Johnson, you tease. You have to make this woman absolutely gorgeous. I mean, yeah. If Karen walked into a room like that, Josh, I'd be spinning around like the Tasmanian devil. Like, I'd be like that. Yeah. She has to wear more dresses in movies, like Gal did in Red Notice. Because when she was doing that fight scene with her feet, with her bare feet, I was like, oh my God, you women make it so easy to be sexy. You don't have to try so hard. Just put a dress and take your shoes off. That's as alluring as you can get it. With your clothes on. Yep, he's following her scent. And trust me, I know about gorgeous women. When I saw Olivia Wilde, she wasn't wearing a dress, but I was mesmerized. Look, he's smelling her. And I know, dude, I know. Mm. Yeah, excuse me, Kathleen Kennedy, that I'm a heterosexual man and I want to look at a woman. Look at her, like examine her. That's nothing sinful about that. We are us guys stick together when it comes to that. Yeah, it's a sparkling gray dress, and I'm like, Karen would look gorgeous in a dress. Like again, it would make my head spin. We don't see her in a lot of dresses because in Jumanji she wears shorts. In Guardians, she wears pants, and put her in a dress like they did with Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad. But make her more appealing. Look at that hair bun. I love it. It's like Kathleen Kennedy doesn't want women to be pleasurable to men. Again, you're wrong. You're not desirable, Kathleen. Jennifer Garner is. Karen is. Natalie Portman is. Of course you did. Steven Johnson is reading my mind. Oh, I can. I can see you front and center. Yeah, I do that. Get over yourselves, feminists. Like, you can't touch a woman. You can't desire a woman. How dare you? No, how dare you? How dare you? You knew I was heterosexual. You can't take that away from me. Nothing could take that away from me. No actress or feminist anywhere in the world. Wrong, Ben Affleck. Foreshadowing, she dies in both cuts. Does that griffin have bosoms? Yeah, look. he's rubbing the bosom of a griffin for some reason. That's weird. I guess it's a female. I know. It does. It does, because in a lot of MCU movies we've seen beautiful women in dresses. The first Iron Man, Iron Man 2, what else? Avengers Age of Ultron, yeah. Even in Black Panther, the first one. Yeah, you can't make women undesirable anymore. Writers and producers and freaking, directors. When you have it, you have it. If you Marvel and DC loves girls in dresses, even WandaVision. Yeah, because Wanda's cute. I don't know why there's no subtitles, because it was 2003. It's like, how dare you take my wife away from me? That's why I wanted to do this podcast early, because the movie's long. Not too long, though. Good stunt work. But, the guy that was on the motorcycle, see, that's more like it. It's like ninja stars now, shurikens. That's more effective than a freaking paperclip. New York Post. Hey, what's up? That's the shuriken, yeah. Yes, I never miss. Yes, you do, Colin Farrell. After this, you had a lot of movies that just missed the mark, but the Batman was good. He had more dialogue in that, and he's a cameo in that, basically. Try all the way to make girls not sexy, but it just ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen, because with The Force Awakens, like, no, we're going to make Rey the most boring, non-sexual thing in any Star Wars movie. And Felicity Jones in Rogue One. But you failed, because even Solo, even though I couldn't see it, even though I could barely see the girl, Emilia Clarke did have a dress. I give it that. But it was just so dark, I could barely see it. Because they wanted to desexualize these women. You can't do that. That explosion is cool. You missed. Yep, her dad dies. It wasn't his fault. Actually, I think there is a post-credit scene in this movie, but it's like at the very end. It's not at the very end. It's it was like right after at the end credits, but not at the very end credits. They didn't say Bullseye will return in the MCU. No, left away. See, women cry. They're human. Yep, Kylo Ren, everyone. Another dramatic fade out. There's a lot of that in this movie. This is still better than Ang Lee's Hulk. That movie just hurt me. Vigilante, not vigilante. I gotta take these off. They're too tight. That goy. No, it was fun. Laughable. You sound like Finn Balor, except he's not bald. Yeah. You saw he threw a pencil in his olive. And that looks ridiculous. It looks like he has a target symbol on his head, from the not the the target symbol from the store Target. It's ridiculous. Imagine if he had that symbol on his head, it'd be ridiculous. The nostalgia critic made fun of that because he did a parody of this, and it was so ridiculous. The Renegades were like, "What?" It's like the nostalgia critic is a cartoon. Yeah, that was not in the theatrical cut because again, f bombs were not allowed in PG-13 at the time, mostly. Yeah, it's legal now. Back in 2003, it was not. Because it's like, it's a dangerous drug. Yeah, if you use it while you're driving. Favreau's so good in the movie. Yeah, this is a funeral scene. Yeah, my grandmother just passed, so may she rest in peace. I miss her a lot. Yeah, she was old though, and I did get to know her when I was a kid. So this song is nice. Like I said, did I mention the soundtrack in this movie is really good? Mostly, except for that Irish song because that's really racist. I think that is Evanescence. Beautiful song. Oh, they're Canadian. No, look at Batman or the Flash, where his mom was killed right in front of him from the Reverse Flash. Wink, wink. I like the soundtrack here too. Yes, it's Evanescence. Great music. I like, but then Wake Me Up Inside. It's wasted because she dies at the end. It's not like if they gave that to Black Widow, it would have made more sense. They did a song for the 2004 Punisher. Yeah, and that's an awesome movie as well. I will defend that movie. That also has a director's cut, but it's not as good. This one, it's not as good as this one. The that director's cut, I think they took scenes out or added things that added nothing. I'll see it eventually, but that girl's voice is fantastic. I wish I could see her if she's still singing. Why did they give Elektra a spinoff after she died? Does that sound familiar, Marvel? Man, that song is so good, man. Yes, I hear you, truck. Man, that's this soundtrack is amazing. It's so atmospheric and it fits the movie. It feels like a soundtrack from the 2000s. Yeah, take that Netflix series. You don't have a kick-ass soundtrack like this. That's one thing you'll never have in the MCU with Daredevil. A soundtrack that makes me feel without crying, because this movie never made me cry. Mainly because I knew Elektra was going to die. Probably, she's not trained well. That song is awesome. I want to see what the name of that song is, because let me check. Evanescence song Daredevil. I think it's Bring Me to Life, right? It's fantastic. Yeah, the first time I heard an Evanescence songs was in this movie and in the 2003 No Way Out. Hoboken, New Jersey. It's a nice car, even though I don't drive. That music. Yeah, that girl is singing because she wants to be heard. And yeah, I heard your voice, lead singer from Evanescence. You have a beautiful voice. He's driving and he can't see a thing. The lead singer from Evanescence, her name is Amy Lee. Beautiful voice. To this day, I hope she takes care of that voice because it's got the voice of an angel. I would love to meet her and say your voice speaks to me. It does. It does. That though she sings from her heart. We need more singing from people's hearts than just their mouth. That's what I wish the Disney remakes would do. In with these girls that they're casting now. Because Pinocchio, I felt that the singing in the movie made me feel something. See how old she is now. She's an American singer. I thought she was Canadian. The group is Canadian though. She's 40 now. She got married in 2007. Good for her. Such a super talent. The group. I think Evanescence is from Canada though. The group, the musicians from there. Rock band. No, it's an American round. I thought, but they're big in Canada though. I was wrong. They're performing. Of course they are. They're great. No, so they're American. I thought they were Canadian. Beautiful girl. It's like Jennifer Holland. Smile for once. It'll melt my heart. You being mopey and sad all the time in Peacemaker, I'm like, we get it. You have problems. It's not like John Cena got off clear. He had to kill his father had to be die in that show, and he lost a lot. No, they're American. They're American rock band, Evanescence. They sound Canadian though. Welch. Even when she was sad, Daniela still smiled in the Suicide Squad. Yeah, and she lost her father. There's Kevin Smith cameo. Yeah, yeah, because he loves comic book movies. I mean, he wrote a bunch of them. He wrote a couple of the episodes. He directed an episode of Supergirl, right? Yeah. This is fat Kevin Smith before he lost all that weight. Yeah. Because Daniela had a lot of reasons to be sad. I mean, her father was Taika Waititi, was in everything now. At least that movie didn't over. This is a fun cameo. Yeah, he wrote a lot of comics, and Kevin Smith also wrote a lot of like episodes of stuff, the superhero stuff. Wrote or directed. They're both from Jersey. It's almost 12 o'clock. Yeah, this is a long movie, but here comes the song. Great song, but it's kind of wasted on her because she's doing this training montage and then dies. Yeah, waste. This song is so great. What's up? How was your weekend? Well, it was fine. is definitely underrated. I think there's a guilty pleasure. The Daredevil TV show definitely is better, but the thing is that Charlie Cox, I'm not crazy about him. I think he's fine, but he's not like the definitive Daredevil. That song is awesome. Yeah, she cuts sand and men are completely different. Here it comes. Hi. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Save us now, your sleep. Taking that sunrise, for I come undone. Save me from the lightning night. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. Because God to the right to everything. They didn't play the whole song because it's the abridged version. The song is like almost 5 minutes long. It's awesome. I love that song so much. But it's wasted. She fights Bullseye. He takes her sai from the Ninja Turtles and stabs her with it. You didn't see that coming? You think Bullseye is an easy villain to kill? He doesn't even die here. He gets badly injured and then he's in the hospital and wakes up. Yeah, because that's what we want to see. No, they have to recast Bullseye. I don't think he was even in the Daredevil show. That's awesome. There are some good things in this movie. It's not all terrible, trust me. Morbius was terrible. Batman and Robin was terrible. Spawn was terrible. And it could have been great, but they were in the hands of writers that don't know what the hell the comics are about. They don't get the essence of the comics. This mostly did before that show came out. Without this, we wouldn't have gotten the show, guys, because Elektra bombed and nobody remembers it. And again, I'm not blaming Jennifer Garner. She didn't write or direct the movie. Yeah, again, you could have put that for Daredevil because at least Daredevil doesn't die here. He's the main character. And she has size and it's a waste. Yeah. It wasn't me. It was Bullseye. Yeah, again, they do the same thing in Spider-Man 3. Again, Spider-Man 3. Higher. Again, Spider-Man 3 did it. I think it did it better because they did the I didn't kill your father scene early in the movie in the first half hour, not an hour and 39 minutes into the movie. That's awesome. That flip. The flips are cool here. Some of it is CG because again, Blade 2 had to do a lot of that. I think Blade 2 came out a year before this. Yeah, in 2002. Yeah. That is a better movie, though, because it's way more violent and, you know. Yeah, the sex scene would have made sense in this R-rated cut because they don't show anything, you know. They just show their silhouettes and them dry humping. That's it. It's like pointless. Like Eternals didn't need a sex scene, guys. No matter what you think of that movie, it didn't need a sex scene because the Diet Sebastian Stan and Binto they have no chemistry whatsoever. These two actually got married. Again, Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 did it better. I said it. And that was a year after this. Ben Affleck's like, oh, please, let me just rest. Yeah, again, here it comes. She tried to stop Bullseye, but are overpowered her. Again, it's a man. What did you expect? In the comics, he's way more deadly than Colin Farrell flicking a bunch of, paper clips. Yeah, she has a sexy costume, but again, with Black Widow, we got it done well before her movie, in the Avengers. And she didn't get her ass kicked by a bunch of guys. She broke out of a chair. because she's an assassin. I know, Colin Farrell. Stop telling me things I know already. He's whistling at her again. Karen probably got a bunch of guys doing that at Comic-Con. Yeah, she caught it, got it right in the hand. That montage was pretty much for nothing. Yeah. Because that's the thing, that Bullseye really could have been cut from this movie. It should have just been Kingpin as the villain. Because they introduced him so late, like I forgot he was even in the movie. Because Farrell was doing like 4 other movies at this time. Minority Report and Phone Booth and a bunch of other stuff. So he didn't have enough screen time to leave an impact on me. That's why I want a better Bullseye from the comics. Purple suit and everything. I don't care how ridiculous it looks. It's purple or blue, something like that. It needs to look ridiculous. Marvel is ridiculous right now. Phase 4 was a cartoon. A lot of it was ridiculous, you see. Actually, his costume is black, but yeah. Black. I thought I said purple. He has a black costume. He has a black costume with a target on his head, but it looks better than I'm bald and I got a thing here. I'm magic. No, you're not. Benedict Cumberbatch is. If they do a sex scene again in the MCU, it should be better with that. Yeah. He kills her with a card. I mean, again, what are you, Gambit? You're not Gambit, dude. Wrong character. That's another Marvel character. It should be much better someone like Kate Bishop. Or I chose Death first time I saw it, yelled, no, you let her go, Bullseye. I'm like, nah. It's just, it's underwhelming. I don't feel anything because I wasn't connected to this character. Like with Black Widow, when she died in Endgame, I felt something. Yeah, he just casually just stabs her, not or cuts her head off. No, just, and you're dead. It's very underwhelming. It's just, and he should have died too. They kill her off and then they give her a spin-off. Yeah, that doesn't work that way, Marvel. That's always going to backfire on you. Don't kill the character off and then give them a spin-off. It's not going to work. A red rose. That is a nice touch, the red rose, but really, you can't get the comic accurate. It's black, yeah, but it's a black costume and he wears it over his head and he has the target right here. I saw the look on Google. It looks ridiculous, but guys, we need the comic accurate. We need Wolverine with the mask. You have no excuses now. He wears a mask. See, he's petting her hair. He stabbed her with a sai, dude. That wasn't a dagger. Don't worry, Jennifer. I'm going to make some beautiful babies with you, and they're going to live on. Our DNA will be in them forever. That's something, again, time cannot erase that. That happened. And yes, she dies in both versions. Even Catwoman didn't die at the end of Batman Forever Returns. More insignias. But yeah, the last fight scene is in the church, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of on the nose. I mean, it's better than doing it in the street again. But this is where we left off. Why does he have a scarf on his neck? I don't know. Because I didn't want Bullseye to look like a Matrix ripoff. That's what he looks like. And what's he with this thing? I'm again, you're not Finn Balor, dude. He does a lot of this theatrics, like he's flying. He does this for some reason. I don't know what this means, but I don't know. It's a fallen angel. I have no idea. Yeah, that's what they say, and then they molest little kids, which is wrong. Don't do that. Don't touch children. You Catholic priests, don't do it. Just don't. We have enough problems in this world. We don't need your kind. I'm gonna point at you. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like his character is just ridiculous. In the comics, he's a lot more violent. It's like if they made Deadshot a cartoonish character. It's not funny. He threw the offerings tray at him. That's so dumb. But yeah, it's a final battle. But like I said, Kingpin gets take that, you baldy. And is he bald in the comics? I don't know. We are going to get Wolverine with the mask. Miles, he needs to get a hoodie and the mask. Guys love carrying at Comic Con. Wait until they meet her, Caitlin. Oh, I want to. And this guy on Facebook is like, what would I say to her? One, you're beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And two, I love her work. And that nose of hers. Meh. Yeah, some of the CG here looks ridiculous. Like I said, like Blade 2. It was 2003. This movie did not have a $200 million budget. Not even for the time. Bats, winkety wink wink. Because Ben Affleck would become Batman about 13 years later in Batman v Superman and Justice League and the first Suicide Squad. Yeah, they're just fighting near the organs for some reason. Yep, you're out of shurikens, dude. You know when you use ninja stars, you're gonna run out, right? Even in a Shinobi game or Ninja Gaiden, you're gonna run out. He uses shards of glass like throwing stars. That is cool. He missed every single one of them, but oh well. Again, that wasn't Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Except those villains are much better. Uh, uh, Green Goblin is a much better movie. As over the top as he is, he's memorable. There's a reason they brought him back. But Bullseye, we need to make a memorable version. The movie's almost over, guys. So it's like I'm gonna burn you with candles. I'm like, what is he afraid of? He's right about him. I know. You don't have to tell me. That's sweet to say that she'd sign your book, Smart Day and Short Term 12. Kayla will love Comic Con one day and she'd be honored. Yeah. Because why not? You know? She's a girl. And I'm attracted to girls. And not one film she done where they desexualized her. No. Every movie she's in, even except when she was a little girl in Bad Teacher, but most of her other movies, like when she was an adult, yeah, they know how beautiful she is. Oh, my Hans, my Hans. I'm like, again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's funny. That in Doctor Strange, it wasn't funny. That was brutal when he gets his hands crushed. This he survives this. Gets thrown through a plain glass window and falls from like 50 feet and nothing. He survives this. No, he should have been dead or at least paralyzed. Paralyzed, you know. That's hilarious. You took away me Hans. Oh, me Hans. I'm sorry. This movie has some unintentional laughs in it. Yeah, they're fighting in a church, and he puts holes in his hands. It's like you took away me Hans. And yes, Josh, Caitlin is part Irish descent, but it's that beautiful nose of hers. I love it. I just love it. Yeah, I know, because you're the other villain. This movie only needed one villain, not two. Me hands, oh me hands. I'm sorry, Farrell doing that is just laughable. I don't think the bullseye in the comics would act like that. Me hands. It took away me hands. It sounds like Mr. Krabs. Me fingers or me claws or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, you know that Mr. Krabs is Irish as well because Clancy Brown he says me a lot. Yeah, we're almost 2 hours in. Let me get to the end stream because I'm going to end this soon. Hmm. This guy looks like Sharlto Copley. This is not him, though. He looks just like him. He looks just like him because Sharlto Copley didn't get into the mainstream until he did District 9, and that was like 6 years later. Didn't know Caitlin was part Irish. She is because that gorgeous nose of her. Because Deaver is an Irish name, and she's also British. My hands, you took away me hands. That's laughable. Like even in the theatrical cut, that's laughable. When Doctor Strange lost his hands, it was tragic. Yeah, but here it's just I was laughing my ass off. Here we go. Final battle. It's like Captain Hook. That's the crocodile that took me hand. I'm like, yeah, that's laughable too. In the Disney version. This final battle is too short, but it gets the job done. He breaks his knees. It's very physical. Still better than the fight scene at the end of Black Widow with Taskmaster, the fake Taskmaster, and Ray Winstone, whatever the hell his name was. He was just underwhelming, really underwhelming as a villain. I don't remember his name. I'm gonna grab you. It's a nice touch that it's a dark and stormy night and they're fighting. Where's the hand sanitizer? It took away me hands. That's laughable. Yeah. And they're like, you shouldn't compliment a girl's body parts. I'm sorry, but Deaver's nose is just, that's the first thing I noticed when I saw her in the Booksmart trailer. But books, yeah, and let's face it, that movie's still going to be better than Don't Worry, Darling, because I'm sorry, Florence is no Caitlin. Yeah, that's what they say in the comics. My dad used to have the Daredevil comics. Yeah, don't underestimate him. Why? Wrong family? Oof. That's harsh. He still sees her. You can see his essence by wetting him. That is a cool image. I do like that, where you can see people in the rain with water. Still going to look better than anything in Avatar Way of the Water. I don't know why people want to see that. Sean on Facebook, Sean Butler, he's like, oh, I want to see it because it's going to be amazing. Yeah, visually, it's just going to be a visual thing. Yeah, he broke his knees. It doesn't kill him, though. He just breaks his knees. Well, Karen, her nose is not as big as Caitlin's. Felicia Day, I would want to say that, but I'm going to tell her how cute she is because I'm not scared. Nope, he misses. Even in the R-rated cut, he doesn't kill him. He just misses. I know, Ben Affleck. You said that twice earlier. A blind man in a costume. Yep, that's it. The movie's almost over for now. So his mask, he left it there. Nice rose, just like Bruce Wayne did to his parents at the theater near the Monarch Theater. That's it, right? No, it's almost done. 2 hours. Hmm. Julio had a lot more screen time than I thought. Hmm. Karen, her nose isn't as big as Kanan, but she has a lovely face. Yeah, I've seen it. And those eyes, when they light up to make up for and her friendly eyes. Yeah, I like large, friendly eyes. After this, I'll shut my computer off for a little bit so I could go eat lunch. Let me turn my tablet on. Mm. The Holy Innocents? Yeah, I doubt that. Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. It doesn't. See, he arrested him. Only one person is watching, but it's fine. You saw Bullseye? No, there is no post-credit scene. They just show that Bullseye's alive. How? I don't know. His face is okay, yeah. It's over 2 hours, but it's still shorter than. He's feeling that. Braille. Well, that's the movie, guys. It's ending in a few seconds. There's no post-credit scene. I was wrong. There isn't one. Matt Murdock. I Am Iron Man. No, wrong movie. That doesn't come out until 2000. Again, Spider-Man. There he is, on top of a building again, just like Batman. Mm-hmm. Forever in Darkness, like Batman, yeah. That's it. That was Daredevil, 2003, yeah. 2 hours and 7 minutes. Long movie, but at least it wasn't that long. I was going to check the end credits, but I'm like, nah, it's good. I'm okay. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see. Stop this. And thanks for bearing with me all this time in the summer. It was a long summer, but it's almost over. So that was Daredevil. So I'll see you guys in the next one. And